Yeah.
Can the president of Nigeria act in overriding public interests, considering the fact that this same government ignored the courts in the Nnamdi Kanu case? This same government ignored the courts in the Zaki case. And if you look at the temper, the spirit of the president's address this week, last week, the president was sympathizing with Nigerians. He was empathizing with Nigerians. And he has a responsibility to ensure the security and welfare of the Nigerian people. Hence, he said, till April 10, people can have access to old 200 Naira notes. And it's not only in Nigeria that the Supreme Court has been disobeyed. I can quote many cases from Italy, from Belgium, from UK, from Canada, from France, where the Supreme Court had been shoved aside in overriding public interest.
Wonderful. Wonderful. It is like the statement also made by Mr. President in 2016 that rule of law should be subjugated to what he called the national interest. The national interest, Abati, is never equal to the interest of the government in power. I'm happy that you have narrated some instances of brazen violation of court orders by this same government. We cannot say because some foreign countries, which are pro-people, violated an order of a court on an occasion, therefore we should enthrone such a regime of crass abandonment of the judicial arm of government as irrelevant. You have mentioned the case of Zaki. You mentioned that of Sabo Dasuki. You mentioned that of Nnamdi Kanu. I did that case. I got the 8 of the 15 count charge dismissed by the Federal High Court. I went to the Court of Appeal, got the remaining 7 count charge dismissed by the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal said, this man should be released and should never again be prosecuted by any court of law in Nigeria on these charges. As I speak to you, the federal government is holding Nnamdi Kanu in his SSS gulag. You are telling me that is in the national interest? So when the president decides to violate court orders, you say it is acting in the national interest? Where has Mr. President been? Where Boko Haram, armed bandits, insurrectionists, kidnappers have been ravaging Nigeria, killing people in their farms, on their home, in their homes, in schools, on the streets, in the rivers, on the waters, on the air. Where was he? Where has he been when kidnappers will dictate to parents of kidnapped school children the type of food they must buy for them to sustain their children for the purpose of paying ransom? Buy tomatoes, buy tarodo, buy tatashi, buy palm oil, buy vegetable oil, buy salt, buy rice, buy barley, buy oat, buy wheat, buy beans, buy yams for us to feed your children and fatten them for you to come and pay ransom. Where was Mr. President? How come it is this sudden later day? Let me not be mistaken. But let me put this caveat. Let me enter this caveat. I am not speaking about the beauty of the currency swap or the change of currency. Anybody who has followed currency swaps across the world in 1999, when 11 nations initially joined the Eurozone to begin to use euro, later joined by other countries, heavens did not fall. Nobody quarreled because it was planned out. In 2019, when 8 West African countries decided to do away with their CFA franc and begin to use ECO, countries like Mali, Senegal, Niger Republic, Guinea-Bissau, nobody is quarreling with that. Nobody quarreled because they gave them enough time. Countries like Croatia, which in January this year even joined the euro and changed its currency. Countries like China that won't change its currency, the yuan. Countries like Russia, when it broke down into 15 states, sovereign states in 1991, changed its currency in 1992 to to have new coins. And the Russian ruble is one of the oldest coins in the currency in the world, starting from the 14th century. And the Chinese yuan is one of the 5 leading currencies in the world. That is not the issue. So nobody is talking about the demerits or merits of changing currency. There are a lot of advantages, a lot of merits. We are only talking about the timing. Question: this timing that has led to a lot of Nigerians burning, carrying out arson, burning banks, mounting roadblocks, fighting soldiers, fighting police, with some young men stripping themselves naked inside bank. One I particularly saw that drew tears in my eyes, and I cried, and my wife had to give me tissue to mop my eyes. He said, I have 500,000 plus in this bank. All I need is 100,000. My wife is in the hospital. She's dying. My children are dying of hunger. I need money to sustain my family. The old money was not available. The new money is not available. Ruben, for the first time in my life, I saw Nigerians purchasing money with money, purchasing brand new money, say for example, 10,000 Naira or brand new money with about 4,000 to 5,000 Naira of old money when the central bank still allowed it up to 10 according to them. We are seeing a situation where there are mass killings across Nigeria. So the question is not the merits or demerits. It is about the timing. Do you know, Ruben, that in September last year, the Queen of England died, Queen Elizabeth II, and she was succeeded by his own son, who is now King Charles III. Nobody heard that the British pound sterling was being changed with the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II replaced quietly with that of King Charles III. Guess what? It is to take effect from middle of 2024. That's from September last year. So they were giving nearly 2 years ahead. How many Nigerians know that the title of Queen's Counsel, QC, which is the equivalent of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, has since changed to KC, King's Counsel, and that when you want to tell a person now you are speaking good Queen's English, you will now tell the person you are speaking good King's English.
Professor
Heavens did not fall because there was proper planning. It is the planning we are talking about here.